Hello everybody. Today on special electrical machines, the important unit is to be of square wave permanent magnet brushless DC motors. We know that normal DC motor. We know that normal DC motor, and also we observed that the permanent magnet DC motors, and also brushed and also brushless we observed. Then once again we remind about all these things about the DC motor and also the uh, brushless and with brush motors and even permanent magnet or without permanent magnet motors. And what about the square wave also we observe here now. If you go for introduction about the DC motors, we're having that conventional DC motors. Conventional DC motors are highly efficient and their characteristics make them suitable for use as servo motors. However, their only drawback that they need a commutator and also the brushes and also the regular maintenance is to be required. Why? Because the brushes are wear and tear and they require maintenance for a conventional DC motors. When the functions of commutator and brushes were implemented by solid state switches, here nowadays the trend is to be changed towards the switches of a power electronic, that is a semiconductor switches of a solid state. By using of these solid state switches, we have to use in place of the brushes, in place of the brushes with respect to commutator, we also use another commutator, that is an electronic commutator. Here, if you observe that normal DC motors, normal DC motors are having that commutator and brushes and also having the functions of the commutator. Now, overall, the copper winding has been used in the field winding itself, field as itself, and also the armature. Here, when the functions of commutator and brushes were implemented by solid state switches, suppose normally DC supply is converted. Suppose if you go for a DC motor, a conventional DC motor, the conventional DC motors are given with the supply from outside. Why? Because we availability of the supply is in the world itself is the AC supply, but we are converting it to DC as per our requirement. That application of the motor depend upon the application of the motor. Here, with respect to the application of that particular motor of a supply can be changed, that is AC to DC. So that's why a converter equipment is required for us. A converter equipment is required, that is a rectifier unit, is called rectifier unit or a converter unit, which converts the supply of availability of the supply of AC towards the required motor DC supply voltage. So the DC motors, if you go for DC motors in industrial areas, they're using for the 400 volts, 220 volts with a huge rating voltage, the high voltage rating. Therefore, with respect to a voltage of 400 volts of a DC supply for available, suppose, therefore, a rectifier unit should be a three-phase rectifier unit, or it is a three-phase control rectifier. Here, with respect to the three-phase control rectifier, they may use solid static switches, solid state switches. Here, the importance of these is switches is nowadays most of the industries, most of the applications in our domestic purposes, those are using the power electronic devices to convert AC to DC, or again it should be DC to AC. So by using of these solid state switches, the compactness of the application has very increased. That is, if you use a 220 volts DC motor with a load running unit, mechanical load running, here the DC supply of a 220 volts can be, it should be normally changed by using a converter circuit with a solid state switches. So when you use this type of switches, Therefore, the maintenance of the maintenance of the maintenance of the normal conventional motors has more. Therefore, while using with the solid state switches, the maintenance of the motors is to be reduces, should be very less. Even the maintenance is also not there. Why? Because whenever there is a switching failure, therefore there is a replacement of that particular solid state switch, and again you have to replace the another switch. That only. There is no regular maintenance to observe how the brushes are, how the commutator are with respect to rotating the DC motors. So the importance is, nowadays we are using that in place of the conventional DC motors, we are using the brushless DC motors. We are using the brushless DC motors without using any brushes, without using a normal commutator, with using an electronic commutator. While using with the electronic commutator, here we are getting that most economical efficiency with respect to comparison between normal conventional DC motors. So the point is, when the functions of commutator and brushes were implemented by solid state switches, maintenance free motors were realized by using of these switches. These motors are known as brushless DC motors. These motors are known as brushless DC motors. The function of the magnets is the same in both brushless motor and the DC commutator motor. The function of the magnets, normal permanent magnets we are using here, PMDC motor, PMDC brushless. Okay, so here the PMDC motor, the function of the magnets is the same in both the brushless motor and the DC commutator motor. The motor, obvious, the advantage of brushless configuration is the removal of the brushes. The motor obvious disadvantage of a brushless configuration is the removal of the brushes. Here, next one, brush maintenance is no longer required and many problems were associated with brushes are removed. Brush maintenance is no longer required actually. If and many problems associated with the brushes are removed. Here, there is also some other advantages and also some other disadvantages with using of the brushless DC motors also. An advantage of the brushless configuration in which the rotor inside the stator is that more cross-sectional area is available for the power or armature winding. Actually, normal conventional DC motors, actually normal conventional DC motors, though those motors are used with normal field winding is used and also armature winding is used. Whenever arm winding itself is using on the both the cross section of the field and also the armature, therefore the space should be increases. The space is increases. Here, whenever the space is increasing, whenever the space is increasing, means the size of the machine or the motor or any device can be increases. The size of the machine can be increases. But with a small load application, for a small load application, even if you go for a small load application, the size of the motor can be reduces. Nothing but normally for running the loads, the mechanical loads of high torque values, whenever the loads are required high torque values, therefore the use capacity motor can be used. But even for prototype, nothing but less torque. The requirement of the torque is to be very low for suppose. Therefore, the motor should be size of the motor should be very low, compact in size. Such applications are very rare, very high applications nowadays by using of these special electrical machines. Special electrical machines. That is nothing but example is nowadays the tremendous increasing of the application is brushless DC motors. Permanent magnet brushless DC motors nowadays using. Why? Because all the four wheelers and the two wheelers and also any three wheelers, they are using that the electrical brushless DC motors as a motors to drive that particular vehicle. That is nothing but electric transportation has been increasing very highly. Coming within 5 years, the nowadays is it availability, but coming 5 years, within 5 years, the uh, electrical transportation can be increases very highly. Why? Because the fuel rates, actually the fuel rates of diesel, petrol are increases highly, very highly. Now we're going towards a 90 to 100 rupees per liter. Therefore, amount of whenever the amount is to be increasing means, therefore, for for our requirement, if you use this one electrical vehicles means, therefore, economical point of view, there is high efficiency. Why? Because fuel rates are increasing day by day. That is the more disadvantage. And also the disadvantage is to be which the electrical transportation is eco-friendly, no carbon emissions. Therefore, what I am telling is here the brushless DC motors are having that high applications. Permanent magnet brushless DC motors having that high applications of using that in electrical transportation. Next one, an advantage of the brushless configuration in which the rotor inside the stator is that more cross-sectional area is available for the power or armature winding. Here, normal conventional DC motors are using with the field winding and also the armature winding. So therefore, the size of the motor should be increases. Why? Because the winding itself having the area of cross section should be more, and also the armature winding is also having a cross section area more. Therefore, with respect to these two, we are having that size of the motor should be increases. Here, while using with a permanent magnet as a field, permanent magnet as a field, therefore there is a possibility of the size of the motor can be reduces. Size of the motor can be reduces. Next one, at the same time, conduction of heat through the frame is providing greater specific rate. Here, an advantage of the brushless configuration in which the rotor inside the stator is the more cross-section area is available for the power or armature winding. At the same time, conduction of heat through the frame is providing greater specific torque. The efficiency is likely to be higher that of a commutator motor of equal size, and the absence of the brush friction help further in this regard. Here, the efficiency is very high compared to with respect to a normal conventional DC motors. Even we are using the brushes, but with respect to the absence of the brushes means there is no friction losses. There is no friction. Why? Because while using with the normal conventional DC motors, there is a problem of place brushes which are always continuously fixed with the commutator. Therefore, there is a frictional losses. Those are the brush frictional losses. There is a noise. So these within the brushless DC motors these are completely eliminated. Next one, constructional features of the brushless DC permanent magnet DC motors. The stator of the brushless permanent magnet DC motor is made up of silicon steel stampings, which slots in its interior surfaces. Interior surface. I'm not shown with the diagram here, but I will show in the next class. That is, if you come across this construction, the construction of the permanent magnet brushless DC motors, here the stator is made up of a silicon steel stampings as same as that of the permanent magnet DC motor, PMDC motor. Here, with the slots in its interior surface, we are using that the slots within the interior surface means within on the shaft we are placing that interior. Sorry, on the shaft we are placing that the slots. Next one, these slots accommodate either a closed or open distributed armature winding. Usually it is a closed winding. These slots accommodate either a closed or opened winding or opened distributed armature winding. Here, usually it is a closed. This winding is to be wound for a specified number of poles. Next one, this winding is suitably connected to a DC supply through a power electronic switching circuitry. Here, this is the named as an electronic commutator. We will observe that next slides. What about the electronic commutator and what about the normal commutator? These are the construction of the BMDC motors. And next one, how about the rotor? The rotor is made up of a forged steel. This rotor accommodates a permanent magnet. Rotor is made up of forged steel and a rotor accommodates a permanent magnet. Number of poles of the rotor is same as that of the stator. Here, the important point is number of poles of the rotor is same as that of the stator. Next one, the rotor shaft carries a rotor position sensor. The rotor shaft carries a rotor position sensor. Next one, this position sensor provides information about the position of the shaft at any instant to the controller, which sends suitable signals to the electronic commutator. The rotor shaft carries actually a rotor position sensor. Here, this position sensor provides information about the position of the shaft at any instant. Nothing but if the rotor is rotating now at this instant, at what speed it is rotating, at what displacement angle it should be, like that. That position sensor always sends the value and which given feedback towards the controller. This position sensor provides information about the position of the shaft at any instant to the controller, which sends suitable signals to the electronic commutator. That is nothing but the next. What are the merits and demerits of the permanent magnet brushless DC motor? Here, there is no field winding within the motor. Therefore, there is no field copper losses. Actually, normal conventional motors consisting of designed as using with a field copper winding and also armature itself as using as a copper winding. Therefore, there are nothing but normal conventional DC motor having some advantages also. Why? Because if the requirement of the torque is to be very high, suppose the torque value is to be very high, required value. So therefore, as per the requirement of the torque, they can provide by using of this normal conventional DC motors. Why? Because there is a possibility of a speed control mechanism. There is a possibility of a speed controlling on that particular motor. Why? Because we are having two different types of speed control methods as a rotor rheostatic control, rheostatic control method, and also voltage armature voltage control method. We are having different types of speed control methods on the DC motors as for the shunt motor normally. If you go for these type of motors means there is a possibility to getting that more amount of high speed also and also low speeds also possible. But using of these type of permanent magnet brushless DC motors, here with using of this permanent magnet brushless DC motors, for suppose there is no possibility to get high speed values. There is a limit value. Why? Because the permanent magnets have always can produce this much amount of flux. I think so the at particular value only. For suppose 30 milliwebers is the fixed value for producing of the flux. For suppose that permanent magnet can produce only the flux value is to be 30 milliwebers only. That is the maximum value capacity to produce the flux by you the permanent magnets. But what about if you require more amount of flux? If you require more amount of flux, there is no possibility of getting more amount of flux. Even for a normal conventional DC motors also, even if the field current has been increased, even there is also some value. After that, they move towards the saturation. Here also permanent magnet is also there, but what is the main advantage with respect to the permanent magnet brushless DC motor to the conventional motor means, I am telling about the conventional motors, that is not the conventional motors are produce high torque value. Conventional motors produce high torque value with respect to the field winding, and also high speed value can be possible. But here we're using some controlling mechanism by using a rheostats. Okay, within the armature winding and also within the in series with the field winding, not for a normal conventional DC motors. But here, if you come across this permanent magnet brushless DC motor, there is no possible to connect a rheostat in series with the permanent magnet. Why? Because the permanent magnet has no contacts, no terminals, which is having a fixed one, a fixed solid magnet. Therefore, there is no controlling is possible by using of the by using of a permanent magnets. That is the main disadvantage on a permanent magnet brushless DC motors. So, if you increase the magnet capacity of producing the flux, therefore there is a possibility to increase the speed value. Whenever if you increase the magnet capacity means, therefore even the size of the motor is also increasing, and also the speed can be produced, and also there is a possible to high torque can be produced. Okay, so those are the some of advantages and disadvantages with respect to the speed control. If you come across some more here, for a normal conventional DC motors, there is no field winding. Sorry, no, for a permanent magnet DC motor, there is no field winding. No field winding. We are using only permanent magnets. Next one, without field winding, there is no field copper losses. Field copper losses are considered as a constant losses. Yes, now there is no field copper losses. Next one, the length of the motor is less as there is no mechanical commutator. The length of the motor is less. This is nothing but the size of the motor can be reduced. Why? Because no commutators we are using only an electronic commutator. Electronic commutator using a switching device, solid state switches. Next one, size of the motor becomes less. The size of the motor becomes very less. Next one, it is possible to nav very high speeds. It is to be possible become. Okay. Next one, it is a self-starting motor. Speed can be controlled, and motor can be operated in hazardous atmospheric condition also with using of a permanent magnet BLDC motors, and efficiency is better. Next one, field cannot be controlled. These are the disadvantages. Field cannot be controlled, and the power rating is restricted because of the maximum available size of the permanent magnets. Power rating is restricted. Field cannot be controlled. Next one is the power rating has a limit value. Here, with respect to normal DC motors, if you go for normal conversion, there is a power rating. Yes, high capacity is possible. Suppose it should be 10 horsepower, 20 horsepower, 100 horsepower. There is a possibility. But by using of these permanent magnets, there is no that much horsepower we cannot get. Though the power rating is restricted because of the maximum available size of the permanent magnets. Why? Because the availability of the size of the permanent magnets is to be having some fixed value only. After that, there is no availability. But now, if you go for a few normal conventional DC motors, that is depend on ourselves. If you go for 20 horsepower motor, if you require, therefore, if you go for designing of the field winding with respect to application of the 20 horsepower rating. Okay, next one, a rotor position sensor is required. This is not that much disadvantage. Why? Because an extra terminals to the device and also extra wiring connections should be more for this rotor position sensor. That is only the problem, but there is no problem at all the using of a rotor positioning sensor. Next one, a power electronic switch circuitry is required. This is also that much disadvantage, but by using of this power electronic switch, there is switching operations. There is an having a switching operations. So many number of switching operations. With these switching operations can be considered as a frequency of switching. Switching frequency is also called switching frequency. With respect to frequency, switching frequency, number of times that switches can be turned on, turned off. That is the problem. Okay. Next one, come across this comparison of the brushless DC motors relative to the induction motor drives. Why we are telling about the induction motor drives compared to the brushless DC motors means here the induction motors and also the DC motors having that having a same relations. Why? Because the speed is to be not fully drastically changed value with respect to the load, but it is a small change, gradual change value that that is nothing but up to the maximum point of the load capacity. There is a induction motor and the DC motor, so they will having the speed value should be maintained a constant value, nearly constant value. Okay, here comparison of the brushless DC motors related to the induction motor drives, if you observe here in the same frame and for same cooling, the brushless permanent magnet motor will have better efficiency and power factor and therefore greater output. In the same frame, for same cooling, the brushless permanent magnet motor will have better efficiency and power factor and therefore greater output. The difference may be in the order of 20 to 50%, which is higher. The difference may be in the order of 20 to 50%, which is higher. Next one, power electronic converter required is similar in topology to the pulse width. The power electronic converters required is similar to the in topology to the pulse width modulated inverters used in induction motor drives. And in case of induction motor, operation in the weakening mode is easily achieved, providing a constant power capability at high speed, which is difficult in brushless DC motors. Actually, induction motor drives are required an AC supply. Induction motors are required an AC supply voltage. Therefore, there is a supply comparison between the supply systems. Means here we are using the DC supply, and there is induction motor drives using that AC supply. Here, if you go for this induction motor drives, here this induction motor operation in the weakening mode is easily achieved, providing a constant power capability at high speed, which is difficult in brushless motor DC motors. Think but they have some limit. Brushless DC motors, permanent magnets having some limit, and induction motors are having also some limit. And next one, permanent magnet excitation is viable only in small motors, usually well below 20 kilowatt, also subject to speed constraints. In large motors, permanent magnet excitation does not make sense due to weight and cost. Always we have to understand about this point. Why? Because that permanent magnet is only having limited kilowatt applicable for only for limited kilowatt rating. They are limited kilowatt rating. That is, if you up to choose that up to 20 kilowatt, the motor can be chosen for using a permanent magnets, means it should be up to 20 kilowatt and also subject to speed constraints. Here in large motors, permanent magnet excitation does not make sense due to weight and cost. This is some of the comparison points of compared to the brushless DC motor and induction motors. Next one, about the commutator and brush arrangement. Here, these are completely PMDC motors. Because of the heteropolar magnetic field in the air gap of a DC machine, the EMF induced in the armature conductors is an alternating in nature. And this EMF is available across brushes as unidirectional EMF because of the commutators and brushes arrangement. Actually, if you go for any motor, that motor can be acts as even it should be a generator also. Why? Because regularly. Why? Because while it is running means it should be behaving as a generator and also in a motor. While driving the load, mechanical load, it should be running as a motor. And also while running the motor, it can generate an EMF. That is a generator action. Here, the motor can be generate an EMF. Here, if you go for due to construction heteropolar magnetic field in the structure in the air gap of the DC machine, the EMF induced in the armature conductors. This EMF is caused due to the field field availability in the field system, which armature conductors also cutting the flux, and EMF is induced within the armature conductors. This EMF induced in the armature conductors is alternating in nature due to the heteropolar construction. And this EMF is available across the brushes as a unidirectional EMF because of the commutators and the brushes arrangement. Actually, if you go for a normal conventional DC motors, we are using that the brushes and the commutators. Sorry, brushes and the commutator. Here, if you go for a commutator, this all the windings are connected towards the segments. If you go for all the windings are connected towards the segments. Therefore, each segment is connected toward the copper winding. Therefore, whenever the armature conductor has been induced an EMF, suppose EMF per conductor, therefore this is produced given towards the commutator segment. Therefore, if you compare all the commutator segments, so many number of commutator segments are having with respect to the armature conductors. Here, all the commutator segments are connected towards the brushes. Therefore, the what about the alternating voltage, developing alternating voltage or induced alternating voltage has been converted towards an average value. Why? Because with respect to the number of segments within the commutator. Therefore, this alternating supply can be changed towards the average value or a DC value. So that is an unidirectional EMF. This EMF is available across the brushes as unidirectional EMF because of the commutators and the brushes arrangement. Here, the DC current passing through the brushes is so distributed in the armature winding that unidirectional torque is developed in the armature conductor. Here, the DC current passing through the brushes actually. What about amount of supply we are giving towards the brushes is given towards the brushes is fed towards the armature conductors. So the DC current passing through the brushes is so distributed in the armature winding that unidirectional torque is developed in the armature conductors. Next one, a DC current passing through the brushes. A DC current passing through the brushes because of commutator and brushes action always sets up an EMF whose axis is in quadrature with the main field axis irrespective of the speed of the armature. Next one, this is the commutator arrangement and this is the commutator segment. If you observe, this is the commutator segment. In the next class also, I will show the complete picture. This is a one segment. I am shown with one segment. Okay, one segment, and this is the side view. Okay, if you these are segments, these number of segments are placed in a circle, placed to form a circle. Okay, so that is a commutator, complete commutator, and here it is called a riser. It is the riser. This is the riser. This is the riser. Here, this is completely a segment. Here, the brushes are placed here. The brushes are placed here, and the winding has been connected towards this side. This is nothing towards the riser side. So these brushes are connected here. Therefore, this commutator is made up of a specially shaped commutator segments made up of a copper. These segments are separated by thin mica sheets. Nothing but if you observe, this is one segment. Next, if you place another segment, if you use another segment, and the next one, another segment is also attached with a mica insulation. Why? Because not to make any contact. Why? Because the current is to be separated in each segment. Therefore, this in between the segments of a commutator segments, mica insulation has been used. Mica insulation has been used. Therefore, these segments are separated by a thin mica sheets of insulation of similar shape. We are using the similar shape of mica insulation. Next, the commutator segments are tapered such that when assembled, they form a cylinder. The commutator segments, they complete all the commutator segments are collected and those are tapered such that when assembled, when these commutator segments are assembled, they form a cylinder. They form a cylinder. And next one, these segments are mechanically fixed to the shaft using V-shaped circular steel clamps. These segments are mechanically fixed to the shaft using V-shaped circular steel clamps but are isolated electrically from the shaft using suitable insulation between the clamps and the segment. And this is the connection of the commutator segments to the shaft. And this is the shaft. This is the shaft. And this is the commutator segment. And this is the mica insulation which we have shown here. Actual mica insulation has not shown here directly. Here it is a V-shaped clamp. This is a clamp. V-shaped clamp, and it is the shaft, and it is also commutator. Nothing but Why we are showing that upward and also the downward means this is a complete circular. This is a circular one. Connection of a commutator segments to the shaft. It is a complete circular one, circular shape to form a circular shape. And here the armature winding has been connected here, and not only here, it is here also we connected here. The armature winding is connected to all the commutator segments, and here the brushes are placed on up the above. Here the brushes are placed, and these brushes are the fixed one, and only the commutator segments, nothing but the commutator itself rotated because of those are the those are the commutator is placed on the shaft itself. Therefore, this is a complete rotation of the uh, complete system of the commutator, connection of the commutator segments to the shaft. Uh, Next one, if you go for this commutator of a side view, if you observe this is a commutator, and these are the segments. These are the segments we have shown with the 16. Two brushes we are placed, and these X and Y is the brushes. X and Y are the brushes, and 1 2 3 up to segments, these 1 2 to 16 is called the segments, and these segments are connected through a lines. These are the conductors which are connected towards the copper winding. Here the winding has been placed. This circular is nothing but a copper coil. This is nothing but the armature winding. Actually, I'm not shown here with a circle, I'm shown with a circle. Here this is a armature winding. This is the armature winding. With respect to the armature winding, the conductors are connected towards the commutator segments. Nothing but whatever the terminals which are coming towards the copper coil is connected towards directly towards the segments. And with respect to the armature, this commutator is completely rotating. Therefore, and these brushes are collecting the current and giving towards the armature winding, supply towards the armature winding. And this is the complete mechanical and commutator and the brush arrangement, and we are giving the DC supply positive negative with the DC supply, and XY is the brushes, copper brushes or the carbon brushes. We're having two types of the brushes of a copper and also the carbon brushes normal. Here these brushes are fixed in nature, and the only commutator and also the commutator is rotating with respect to the shaft. We previously observed that these are placed, commutator is placed completely on the shaft. Whenever shaft is rotating, therefore there is a possibility to rotate the commutator. So, and giving the current towards the commutator segments. With respect to the current collected by the commutator segments towards the armature winding, distributed armature winding. So that's why an torque is to be produced. And next one, how they can work to observe. To start with brush X contacts with current source inverter, and brush Y with a DC supply is connected across the brushes X and Y. The DC current passes through X of a current source inverter, tapping 1, tapping 7, and brush Y. Actually, we shown with 12. We returned for the 12 only, but I shown in the diagram 16 segments. But here we explained only for the 12. Why? Because it is a two-pole 12 segment motor. The DC current passes through the brush X, current source inverter, tapping 1, tapping 7, and brush Y. There are two armature parallel paths between tappings 1 and 7. The current passing through the armature winding sets up a magnetomotive force whose axis is along the axis of tapping 7 and 1 of the brush axis Y and X. Here, allow the armature to rotate by an angle in a counterclockwise direction. Then the brush X contacts CS2, and the tappings and the brush Y contacts CS8 and tapping 8. The DC current passes through the tappings 2 amperes and 8 amperes. There are two parallel paths actually. Here, these are shown in the counter segments. Actually, here 8 and we are actually shown with up to 12 only in the procedure, but we here drawn for 16. We drawn for 16 segments, but explained for 12 only. So when you reduce this 12 means, therefore the segment distance has been increases. Therefore, the 1 and 2 will becomes here. So Allow the armature to rotate by an angle in the counterclockwise direction. Then the brush X contacts CS2 and the tappings A and the brush Y. Contact CS8 and tappings 8. The DC current passes through the tappings 2 and 8. There are two parallel paths. Therefore, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the two parallel paths of the commutator brush arrangement. And now the MMF set up by the armature winding is formed tapping 8 to 2 along the brush axis Y and X. Thus the armature MMF direction is always along the brush axis Y and X, even though the current distribution in the armature winding gets altered. Here and next one, in normal DC machine, brushes are kept in the ultrapolar axis. Therefore, the axis of the armature MMF makes an angle 90 degrees electrical with the main field axis. These are the complete procedure for working of a normal commutator and the brushes arrangement. In the next class, we go through electronic switches, electronic commutator with respect to a brushless DC motor. I hope all of you understand about the PMDC motor comparison with respect to induction motor drive and also the normal PMDC motor uh, and also normal conventional DC motors with the comparison merits and demerits. I hope in the next class, I will explain about all the things of BLDC motor, how the BLDC motor and also the single line diagrams and what are the applications. I will explain. Thank you, all of you.